Good evening and welcome to Just Events Online Weekend News at 9. I'm Anifat Ismail. The news headlines. Tinubu okay's Southeast Investment Company to drive industrial growth. APC fumes as ADC accuses Tinubu of politicizing Buhari's death. Federal government FRS take tax awareness to Ibadan. Although demands new revenue sharing formula. Niger asks 2,000 communities to relocate over flood alert. Kano must face terrorism charges, federal government tells court. Labour Party members free to associate with ADC, Ajero says. FRS recovers 35 stolen vehicles in 6 months. Kwara communities come together to resolve farmer elders conflict. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has granted executive approval for the establishment of the Southeast Investment Company. The SEC, which is under the Southeast Development Commission, inaugurated earlier this year, is expected to drive private capital, accelerate industrialization, and enhance competitiveness in the region. A statement by the presidency said the SEC will function as a professionally governed, private sector-led institution operating independently of annual federal cycles. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, has accused President Bola Tinubu's administration of exploiting the death of former President Muhammadu Buhari for political gain. ADC described the recent tribute by the federal government on Buhari as hypocritical, opportunistic, and carefully stage-managed. However, the All Progressives Congress described the allegation as insensitive, cautioning the ADC against playing politics with Buhari's death. The presidency, in collaboration with the Federal Inland Revenue Service, held the grassroots sensitization drives across key areas of Ibadan to educate citizens about the recently signed tax reform bills and how the new policies directly impact the public. The sensitization drive, which was organized by the Presidential Community Engagement Office, the Southwest Region, and FRS, focused on explaining the real benefits of the reforms to traders, transport workers, artisans, and small business owners. The Ondo State Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has called for the review of the revenue allocation formula, which he said was skewed in favor of the federal government. Aiyedatiwa made the call at the Southwest Center big public hearing of the House of Representatives Committee on the review of the 1999 Constitution as amended in Akure, the state capital. He also called for true federalism that reflects the socio-political, cultural, and economic realities of the federating units. The Niger state government has asked residents of over 2,000 riverine communities to relocate to safer grounds following fresh flood warnings issued by the federal government and the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. The special advisor on media and strategy to the governor, Jonathan Fatia, in a statement on Friday, urged the residents to take the warning seriously in order to avoid a repeat of the recent Makwa flood tragedy. Vasa said there was an urgent need for residents living along river banks to move to higher grounds to avoid major disaster. The federal government has insisted that the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, must stand trial on the terrorism charges against him. While rejecting Kanu's no-case application, counsel to the federal government, Adegboyega San, said the prosecutor had established that Biafra agitator had a case to answer. He asked the court to reject Kanu's application and compel him to open his defense, arguing that the application was both misplaced and misconceived. The president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, Joe Ajero, has declared that the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, is at liberty to associate with any political coalition or platform of his choice. Ajero said any member of the Labour Party could associate with the African Democratic Congress either as visitor or guest. He, however, reiterated that the Labour Party was not involved in any merger or alliance talks, insisting that the party was capable of winning the 2027 general elections on its own strength. The Federal Road Safety Corps has said it recovered 35 stolen vehicles across Nigeria in the first half of the 2025 through its tech-enabled vehicle tracking initiative. According to a statement signed by its spokesperson, Olusegun Ogungbemide, the Corps said the feat was made possible by leveraging the National Vehicle Identification Scheme, a data-driven portal that aids intelligence-based operations in curbing vehicle-related crimes. The Search for Common Ground, a peace-building organization, on Friday organized a one-day peace dialogue between elders and farming communities in Kwara State. The event, themed Dialogue Between Elders and Farming Communities in Kwara, aimed to foster peace and understanding between the two groups. In his opening speech, the state coordinator of Search for Common Ground, Adekitan Adeyemi, stressed the need for peace to guarantee the desired growth and development of communities and Nigeria at large. He said the essence of the dialogue is to find a lasting solution to the conflict between herders and farmers in the state.
Almost every week there is always a misunderstanding, I won't call it conflict, between our herders and farmers. And there is no way we can do it. We have to find a way to live together, because everything is all about survival. And so in other places they find a common ground to their problem. So Kwara would not be left out in this.
The state media coordinator, Ajia Fatima Mohammed Lawal, in our welcome address, said organization is building a platform for dialogue and addressing grievances, building trust and promoting cooperation between herders and farmers.
By promoting dialogue and cooperation, herders and farmers in Nigeria can work together to find solutions to their conflict and build a more peaceful and prosperous future for our country, Nigeria.
While speaking on behalf of the Commissioner for Livestock in Kwara, Director of Livestock Services, Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Ahmed Umar, Intel State Government has engaged a consultant to conduct findings on grazing zones for herders that have been taken over by structural buildings and farms across the state. Mohammed commended the initiative of Search for Common Ground, describing the discussion at the peace dialogue as educative and informative, which could help the government find lasting solutions to the incessant conflict between the two parties.
I'm urging both the two parties, we need to stay together, we need to live together. This, we don't have anywhere to go, this is all our country. But the moment there is no peace, there will not be development. If there is peace, that's when development can come more. It's a development that wants to happen in Lata, Gidamalaja, now. That development cannot come because of peace. Those multi-million naira city now will go spoil. if proper care is not taken. So therefore, we need to come together. We need to work as a team so that there is no government that will say, oh, I want to marginalize this type of tribe or marginalize this type of tribe. Everybody is government people. So government would like to solve the problem of every individual.
Representative of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Kwara State, Alpha Said Atonto, appealed to elders and their owners to come to the rescue of the poor farmers while calling for peace and unity. Also speaking, Chairman of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Alhaji Garba Shehu, appealed to farmers to be considerate in their demands for compensation as brothers in the agricultural sector. Mr. Abioye, one of the farmers, urged the Nigerian government and international communities to intervene and tackle the issue of terrorism as a serious crime.
Farmers and Miyetti Allah, which I believe they are part of us, this is time for us to come together to confront what is facing us. We have a common denominator as the fact that is facing us now. And that is why I would like that this is changed from farmer elders conflict to be ranked among terrorism.
We have come to the end of the weekend news on Just Event Online TV. Here's the recap of the story. Tinubu okays Southeast Investment Company to drive industrial growth. APC fumes as ADC accuses Tinubu of politicizing Buhari's death. Federal government FRS take tax awareness to Ibadan. Ondo demands new revenue sharing formula. Niger asks 2,000 communities to relocate over flood alerts. Kano must face terrorism charges, federal government tells court. Labour Party members free to associate with ADC, Ajero says. FRSA recovers 35 stolen vehicles in 6 months. Kwara communities come together to resolve farmer elders conflict. Thank you for watching Just Events Online News. Remember, what is worth doing is worth doing well. For more news, visit www.justeventsonline.com, and to read more updates, follow us on our social media platforms with a tap at Just Events Online. You can also send us an email on justeventsonline@gmail.com. I'm Anifat Ismail. To have a blessed weekend.